Hi, my name is Brandon Enright, and tonight I'd like to show how Gelatinbrain's puzzle 3.11.1 works. It looks like a regular 2x2x2, but the pieces are spherical and they have a weird twist to them as it moves. So it does scramble like a 2x2x2. However, if I slow this down here, you'll see that the axis that the pieces rotate about is not the same axis that you can rotate pieces about on a 2x2x2. So here we go in slow-mo. As you can see, the pieces are actually revolving about an axis that goes from this point in the piece all the way through to the back side right here. So between the pink, red, and yellow point and the blue, light blue, green point. That's the axis that it's rotating through. So you can think of there being like a fixed point above the center of this face, and that's the point that goes through the center of the sphere and that the pieces rotate around. This is different than the axis that you get when you rotate a piece on a 2x2x2. On a normal 2x2x2, the axis that gets rotated is the one that goes to the corner of this cube down through the center of the cube. And so on a 2x2x2, when you would twist pieces, when you would do, let me show you, when you would do a sequence like this piece gets twisted, and it gets twisted about this point. Whereas on Gelatinbrain's 3.11.1, it twists about an axis that's not available to the 2x2x2. This causes the pieces to have really strange orientations, and it causes the mix of twists that are done by the 2x2x2 with the twists that are done by face moves to really interact in really strange ways. So if you keep on clicking here, you can spin it around, and normally on a 2x2x2 this is modulo 4, but since they take a 1/3 rotation each time as they go around, the 4 and the 3 interact to require 12 moves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 moves before they go all back together. And that's because the pieces are, they move modulo 4, but they twist modulo 3. So in order to complete the cycle, you have to do 12 moves. And all the faces move like that. So that the axis that they rotate around is, the fixed point is essentially slightly above the face. Let me show you a slightly different sticker pattern of this puzzle. 3.11.1b is stickered more like how you'd expect a 2x2x2 to be stickered. And the axis that they rotate around is the same. But now all the pieces are unique. So let me show you some really cool things that you can do. So on a normal 2x2x2, let me show it to you here first. If we do, that does a 2-2 swap of corners, and it isolates this corner here, so we can make a commutator out of it, right? So we can replace with that corner, and then we can undo, and that will have created a 3 cycle of this corner, and this corner. Nothing special. And if so let's do the same thing again. So we have this piece isolated. If we spin it around back into its original spot and then we undo, no surprise, nothing will have changed. But check out what happens when you do it on 3.11.1b. So I'm going to do the same commutator. And this piece right here is isolated, but I'm going to spin it around 4 times. I'm going to put it back in its original spot. It has twisted now, but it's twisted about an unusual axis. Now I'm going to undo the X part, and then I'm going to undo the twist. And now only 2 spheres on this puzzle have been twisted, and they've been twisted about this axis instead of the normal axis that you could twist a 2x2x2 piece on. And so the interaction between the two different axes that these can twist produces some really interesting results. This puzzle is extremely fun. It's a real brain teaser to figure out which axis you need to twist the piece about, and also a real brain teaser as to how to achieve that. So this puzzle ends up being pretty challenging for a 2x2x2, and it has all sorts of really interesting issues. So yeah, I think it's really cool. So having a puzzle that behaved similar to this with like spherical gears, where there's the 2x2x2 twist pieces about one axis. If there were spherical gears that could cause the pieces to twist about some other axis, this one's a cool one, but I'm sure there are other cool ones. That would be really awesome. So I'd really like to see a puzzle like that. Thanks for watching.